Is Trump about to take over the Washington, D.C., one of the pillars of the deep state, the others being the City of London and, of course, the Vatican. So looks like he's going to find an excuse, a good one, of course, to send the National Guard into D.C., just like we saw during January 6th, although this time he's not going to have Nancy Pelosi try and stop him, right? So taking it over, and that's going to be a big move. So this is well done, very well done, and we're going to see possible stock market apocalypse. It's basically shaping up. We'll show the graphs on that, and we're also going to see many other things. Some of those, like the ICE, basically the big bonus for ICE. They dangled it out there, $50,000, and they're like, oh, sorry. It's like, okay. It's like when I was in the SEAL teams, we got big bonuses to reenlist. So I think they're going to attract a lot of people. They need to build up a big army, and surreptitiously, and they don't have to like call out the regular army, so everybody gets all crazy, because the regular army may have to do other things. You never know. So you don't want to put all the regular army troops, although it wouldn't be a problem. Just bring them all back, right? Just bring them all back. We don't need them overseas, and of course we do. So it's moving in a good direction. Now, active shooter on a base, guns down, like I think 5 people. Are they getting more information about that? An army base in Georgia. Casualties, they said casualties. Didn't sound like anybody was killed. This one sergeant brought in his own weapon, because on a base, all the weapons are locked up. You would think that on a base you'd have quick access to weapons. No, unless you're out, doing maneuvers, going to the gun range, the weapons are locked up, and the only people that have weapons are the guys in the armory, and even those guys. Like, I used to run an armory in Guam. You have to go to a bunker to get ammo. So we had just enough ammo there to, if there was some kind of a attack or something, we could defend the armory. And so normally you have hired security, and you have military police from different each Navy, Army, Air Force, Marines. They all have their own military police, but they're often implemented or subsidized, if you will, with hired security. And a lot of times those are former military police that are contracted. But there's really not a lot of I wouldn't say super professional. It's not like they do like hardcore training, because when I was in the SEAL teams, we would go against the base security all the time and defeat them pretty easily. It was good for them. Of course, they were under the impression that we could never lose. Of course, we have the same impression. We never lose either. So, but we pretty regularly overcame them. So it's pretty easy. So I don't know what happened. Anyone really could go on a base with their own gun, sneak in on base, and then if you had an issue, a problem, you could, if you're, MK Ultra, to, some kind of, Manchurian candidate. It happened just before Trump was going to go on and talk about Putin and so forth, and Zelensky, some kind of meeting he had with him. I don't know. So I like a bigger picture type stuff. And when I see something like that, I'm like, okay, this guy was activated, wasn't he? So, but who knows? Maybe he had legit, Maybe he had legit reasons for shooting up his fellow soldiers. I don't know. I don't think so. There's never a legit reason for that. All right, so we're standing by. We're going to see what they're going to reveal to us about that. But I would say if we look at dates in history and timing and the numbers and all that kind of stuff, we're probably going to find some funky stuff. All right, there's a lot of people out there to do that. I may, look at what they're saying, and there's really good stuff out there. So I have a very strong feeling that this is Manchurian candidate stuff. So we'll see. All right. Now, President threatens DC takeover if crime isn't addressed. So he put this out in Truth Social. Said crime in Washington, D.C. is totally out of control, he wrote. Local youths and gang members, some only 14, 15, and 16 years old, are randomly attacking, mugging, maiming, and shooting innocent citizens at the same time, knowing that they will be almost immediately released. They are not afraid of law enforcement because they know nothing ever happens to them. This is a Democrat thing that happens in all Democrat. And DC is the most Democrat leftist city in America. But it's not going to happen now. The law in DC must be changed to prosecute these minors as adults. Because look, people come from all over the world. They stay in DC. They look at DC. How is the U.S. government handling their own city, the city-state of DC? So we're seeing that it's getting out of hand. And this has happened in the past, but it's really gotten out of hand this time. Now, the thing that really set it off is Big Balls, right? And Big Balls is Edward Korestein, who was a Doge employee. You might remember him. He worked with Elon Musk, and they uncovered a lot of stuff. So he got a lot of pushback. So I guess there was this woman that was being, they were trying to do, a gang of thugs was trying to like carjack. I don't know if this was his girlfriend or something, but he came to her rescue, and he did save her. They didn't steal the car, but they beat him up pretty bad. And I'll show you the picture. He's all bloody and not looking too happy. So that's a picture of him. So Big Balls, I guess the Big Balls, they didn't save him, but they may have given him, he may get some senators are recommending they get a presidential citation, highest medal you can get for presidential citation or something. So that'd be kind of cool for him. So sometimes big balls come in handy, right? So, all right. So that's what we're seeing there. Now, Elon Musk got involved in that too. Elon Musk said that on X, he said that this needs to stop. Somebody needs to get involved here and take action. So I don't know. Is that going to happen? So among those who vouched for the idea, because somebody said he should get the medal. So the president noted that he planned to speak with Korestein on the phone as the 19-year-old recovers from the violent incident. So he's like 18 and 19 and doing the Doge stuff. This guy is like crazy. He's going to have a lot of. He's got a lot going for him in the future. And so there was a lot of attacks, and Elon basically, put up a post about all that. Let's see if I have it. I think I've got all those links. Let's see if I got them here. Might have been in another one. Dang it. So Elon Musk confirmed on X that a gang of about a dozen young men tried to carjack Korestein and a young lady He said the former Doge staffer ran to defend her and was severely beaten to the point of concussion. DC police told Washington Post that at least 2 people have been arrested in connection with the attack. And Musk wrote on X, "It is time to federalize DC." So it looks like, the good guys are going to take over DC, guys. That will be amazing. Like I said, Trump has already said that he's going to send in the National Guard. And if that really does happen, then we're going to see this thing, for the deep state unwind pretty quickly. That will be fantastic. So, we'll continue to look at this, see how this unwinds or upwinds. So that's what we want. There's really good things that are moving in the right direction. A lot of people are, disappointed that things aren't moving fast enough, but I think things are, winding in the right direction. Yeah, I think sometimes that we all need to just march on some of these baddies and take care of business ourselves. But we have to be patient and give these guys a chance to do the right thing. And I think they're moving in that direction. So some days I'm disappointed, and some days I'm encouraged. This is one of those days, I believe, where we're having basically the Department of Justice launching a grand jury, going to basically take care of business. So that's very encouraging. Now, let's see. I really wanted to show where Elon had. There's 4 or 5 things where other attacks, where they literally show these thugs. One of the attacks was it looked like a probably an Indian man, and he was in his car, and some thugs came up and started to open the door, and he tried to stop it. And finally, they forced open the door, and they started beating him, and he was crying. It was pretty sad. They were beating him, and he was crying. There's another one where these thugs basically beat up a young kid. They had guns and everything. They had a mask on, and they beat up this young kid. I don't know. They were just passing by, and they didn't like him, or didn't like maybe they knew him and started beating him. And there's other ones where it's the blacks target white type thing, but they also target their own. So we've seen these attacks. They seem to are ramping up lately. Of course, we have the Democrats are trying to foment this, and it seems to be working. Their minions that they have brainwashed, right, are acting out. It's very sad for any culture, any race, or whatever, to attack another race for whatever reason, right? So we're seeing a little bit of that, the pace of that, I guess, not a little bit of that, but the pace of that actually start to pick up, or at least there's attention coming to it. So like I said, ICE offers, then quickly withdraws cash bonuses for swiftly deporting immigrants. So they've opened this up. I don't know. I think maybe I could get a job with ICE. I don't want that. I'm pretty happy doing what I'm doing right now. But if, I was coming off of, the SEAL teams in early stages, this might be something that would be interesting because they pay very well. And you're, helping the country out, and you're getting rid of bad guys. So that was one of the things I did my whole career. And for guys to be able to, do that, hardcore now, that's pretty enticing, right? And you get paid well, and you get to travel. You get to travel. I don't know if they're deporting and making sure these guys are guys and gals, or probably more guys than gals, I'm sure. Or put them on planes or take them to the border, whatever's going on. Someone has to do that. And of course, Florida is looking at opening up another detainment camp. So they're looking at the second immigration detention facility, and they're talking about Camp Blanding. Camp Blanding, I think, is where the National Guard trains, Florida National Guard. So we're looking at, expanding operations. I think it's more northern, whereas the Everglades one is southern. So Florida's really serious about this. They want to get rid of, all the illegal aliens. I didn't really see that many when I was here. So if Florida has a lot of illegal aliens to get rid of, maybe they're in different locations where I was, but uh, I say great. And if Florida has that many, they need, and they have to like have 2 camps. Who knows how many camps in the future? But if Florida's doing that, and Florida's kind of like cutting edge now. Remember, Florida did away with the masking and distancing for COVID-19. That's one of the reasons why I moved there, because it was just out of control on the West Coast, especially California. So Florida seems to be cutting edge. Now, California used to be cutting edge. That's what I loved about California, because they're cutting edge. And now California is, we can't call them cutting edge. We can call them stupid edge, right? Because they do stupid stuff now. So there's one guy that I follow on YouTube for a long time. He's basically moving. He says he's been planning for a year and a half to move out of California, and he was on a show the other day. Maybe one of these times I'll like do one of the videos to share it. But he was talking about how he's leaving because he's like reading this one article where it's like third world in California now. He said this woman was attacked and killed, eaten by a pack of wild dogs. And not far from there is basically a homeless camp. And some of those dogs came from that area. It's like, wow, things are out of control. And they're like, they had to clear one of this homeless camps because they had a lot of deaths in there. So they're clearing this homeless camp, and they're finding all these dead bodies in this homeless camp, drug overdose, whatever. So wow, it's third world. It's third world in California now, guys. And you have the facade of Newsom of saying that it's still the greatest state. It's not. It's far from the greatest state. It's like probably the opposite now. They have the highest taxes, highest gas. Like where I'm at in Nevada, because there's in Lake Tahoe, there's California side, Nevada side. So I can travel from the Nevada side very easily. I mean, people from California, I don't know why they wouldn't do that, but I travel around. We did a rafting trip on the Tahoe River. Very, very fun. It's like 4 miles. You just get on a raft and you like just go down these little tiny easy rapids. You do it on your own. So we did it very early in the morning, the first ones to go, and we had pretty much the river to ourselves, and it was fun, beautiful. But that's on the California side. So I was like pointing out, I was like, look at the gas price there. So it was like, it's really high on the West Coast, but I mean, it was like 2 something when I left Florida, and Florida's kind of high for premium. So premium on the, you can go down to Carson City where Costco is, and I get a decent price there, $3.60 I think for premium. But along the lake, it's on the Nevada side, it's $4.69, super expensive, $4.69 for premium, and $6.79 for premium in California. Just like 20 minute drive difference. Wow, California's out of control. California sucks bad, right? But still, they have beautiful stuff. We have beautiful stuff, but they have, a government that is out of control. Democrats have to go away. Democrats are going away. All right, we all know that it's coming. We can't wait. We look forward to it, except for some people that are still Democrat that haven't gotten it yet, and they'll just stupidly fight till the end. You ever see those people that are those hypnotists? They have people come up. It's like, I'm gonna hypnotize you, and then have them do like stupid stuff. That's kind of what I see a lot of people on the Democrat side now. They're like hypnotized and they do stupid stuff. It's like, did you know that you were like, saying that it's okay that California can have gas prices as high as they do because they take care of the roads, which they don't? Yeah, yeah, that's what they do. That's what they do. And then you come back and you ask them about that, and they're like, I never said that. Yeah, you're hypnotized. You're a Democrat hypnotized. You've been hypnotized by the Democrat Party. So that's pretty much what we're seeing. Trying to wake these fools up is not very easy, but I have hope. I have hope. I pray for them. I send them love, right? And love just destroys this baddie stuff. It just destroys it. It's so effective. It's amazing. But I can't do it all. You guys need help. Send them love. I know it's hard for you guys, but uh, fake it till you make it. Right? And then once you see it actually works, you'll be like, dang, this is some powerful stuff. No wonder they say love is the strongest force in the universe. Yes, that's why. All right. So they're not saying definitively in Florida where they're going to put the second detention center, but they're definitely going to put it somewhere, right? Because I guess they got people. They got a lot of people. It's crazy to me, but it is what it is. So, Mike, I didn't know. Deb, I left Florida a long time ago. Look out there. That's definitely not Florida. See that lake in the background? There, it's kind of hard to see it. Oh, now it's just zeroed in. Oh well, you're not going to see it now. But it's at some point this crazy camera that I got will like go back out. Sometimes you can I can send it out. Sometimes it doesn't. Oh well. So that's what's going on in Florida. Now, Ghislaine Maxwell reportedly cleared Trump's name in Department of Justice for interview. So of course, the Democrats are going to say, "Oh, he made a deal with her. You say that I'm good, and I'll let you go into limited, detention facility." Right? And she's in Texas. Hopefully, they put her someplace where she might get flooded. So Texas is flooding. Of course, the Democrats that went to Illinois, because I guess they were going to vote on helping the people that got flooded. But the Democrats, want to control maintain their power. They're the ones that have for years and years have gerrymandered, and now the Republicans are like, that works pretty good. I think we're going to do that to you, right? And they just threw a hissy fit and went away. Now the problem is they're breaking the law, and Governor, what's his face, and I want to say DeSantis, but that's Florida. Abbott, thank you. Came to my mind. Somebody said it out there. I can read minds. So somebody's mind out there, I read it, because it's not in my mind. My mind is like blank most of the time. I'm just like in La La Land. So it's amazing I can come on and even talk. So I like him a lot. I'm in La La Land. I'm like looking at oh, there's gonna be big earthquakes coming. Oh God, look at what they're doing to their children. Oh, see, I see that stuff and it just like shakes me. All right, so yeah, Abbott is basically saying that the head guy, Wu, woo, woo, woo is in trouble. They're going to kick him out of Congress, I think, and I guess he could do that. So woo is going to go bye bye, and that will be the example for all the other Democrats. I guess some of the Democrats are starting to run back to Texas with their tail between their legs, and so it's starting to fall apart. Now, the ones that are left out there, Trump's already said, yeah, we might have to get involved in this and send the FBI. So we'll see. We'll see how much longer these guys try to hold out. And the longer they hold out, the worse it's going to get for them. All right, I think they're getting a $500 fine per day. But Beto O'Rourke, and I guess Abbott's also looking at fining or bringing charges against the person that funded all of these criminals that escaped from Congress of Texas, escape from Texas, escape from LA, escape from New York, escaped from Texas. So now we got all these escaped convict Democrats that Beto O'Rourke funded because he's a rich man. He can do that kind of thing. And I guess they're staying someplace ritzy. They're driving around in nice buses, and they're talking bullshit. And it's not going to go so well for them. So they're going to learn the hard way. They have FAFO. They have effed around, and they're going to find out. Right. So it's they need to set example. If I was in charge, I'd like fire them all. Like the you're screwing other people in Texas, and you're getting paid to do this. No, you got to go. You got to go away. It should be all of them go away. They're all going away anyway. I said it. Democrats are all going away, and at least the head guy, Woo Woo, is going to go bye bye. And so we'll see. We'll see if Abbott has the big balls that saved that one young lady and is probably going to get a medal for it. And he's going to be the guy that brings in it was big balls that brought in the National Guard, and now they're taking over the deep state city state of DC. It's fantastic. It's fantastic the way these things work out. So yeah, Maxwell recently interviewed by the DOJ about roughly 100 people who were associated with her and her accomplice. Deceased? Okay. We'll let you continue with this facade. Deceased pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, because what else are they going to do? Right? She has an appeal pending before the Supreme Court. And rumors are swirling that President Donald Trump may pardon her in exchange for information about his political enemies. So, the Clintons and, I don't know. I mean, God, it's like the rich and famous are going to like get called out. And, their lawyers, multi-million-dollar lawyers, like stacks of them, coming forward and holding all this process up. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work out, but it's fun to watch this thing unfold. So let's watch. Speaking of things unfold, let's watch how this works out with the Department of Justice. Pam Bondi is pushing for prosecutions of people that are involved in Russiagate scandal.
Now make sure to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to our show to get updates when the next one is. Jury could soon be established on the Russiagate scandal. 2 more weeks is coming up soon, apparently. Attorney General Pam Bondi has allegedly directed her staff to move forward with the whole case. It's happening, apparently. And this could actually see criminal charges against individuals who are involved in running the now discredited scandal against President Donald Trump during the 2016 elections. Fox News said this on it. Attorney General Pam Bondi directed her staff Monday to act on the criminal referral from the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. Because remember that she actually announced that publicly. She did say she was giving criminal referrals to the DOJ. It says related to the alleged conspiracy to the president.
All right, so that's that was started 2 days ago to basically start this criminal investigation. So now it's moved to current time frame, and just a few hours ago, she's got Tulsi Gabbard involved. So the next steps: DOJ turns to Gabbard's office for next step in grand jury probe of alleged Russiagate conspiracy.
A major development in the Russiagate investigation, the Justice Department is taking its case to a grand jury. They're accusing top officials in the Obama administration of conspiring upon the candidacy and then the presidency of Donald Trump. Correspondent David Stunt explains tonight. You can break the details. Hi, David.
Hi, Jillian. Attorney General Pam Bondi signed this order earlier today directing an unnamed U.S. federal prosecutor jury relating to an alleged conspiracy to tie then 2016 presidential candidate Donald Trump to Russia. Now, Fox News reviewed the one-page order today signed by the Attorney General. A source familiar with the probe also confirms this story. While a DOJ spokesperson declined to comment on the report of an investigation, Fox is told that AG Bondi is taking referrals from the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, quote, very seriously. The source says Bondi believes there is, quote, clear cause for deep concern, end quote, and a need for the next steps. Now, the move comes just a couple of weeks, Jillian, after Gabbard sent a criminal referral revealing what she called, quote, overwhelming intelligence to prove a conspiracy by then President Obama and his national security team to undermine Trump's candidacy and his first term in office.
Now, as you guys are seeing, it's starting to move in the right direction. And we look at Jeffrey Epstein. That seems to be moving in the right direction because we have Ghislaine Maxwell saying Trump wasn't not involved, right? So, of course, they're going to push back on that. The deep state and their little puppets are going to come out and talk and say, oh, he made a deal with Maxwell. That's why she's saying that he wasn't involved. And it's all back and forth, guys. So now a lot of people want, President Trump and his team to be completely transparent. And they want the verbiage to be truthful and accurate. Now, as someone that has been in the SEAL teams and worked for the CIA, I can tell you that does not work. That does not work. That's not what they're doing. Because if you have liars and psychopaths and people that have deep pockets that can fund people to kill, maim, and destroy credibility and all kind of stuff, you have to be like special forces. You have to make them think that you're incompetent, right? So that they're like, don't worry, they're incompetent. They do stupid stuff. We have them. And then it's like, boom, Bondi comes out, grand jury. Oh shit. Oh shit. We're focused on Epstein and saying that Trump was Epstein's pal. Oh no. We get misdirected. We were focused on that, and there's a bigger thing that happened. Yeah, that's like ambushing, right? Ambushing. You think you're walking down the trail, everything's all hunky-dory, and then the machine guns start happening, and claymores go off, and all that stuff. So today there would be drones and all kind of crazy stuff, but that's where it used to be when I was there. So very, very interesting. You guys think bigger picture. You'll be able to see, the way the reason these things happen. It's frustrating to me to see people that are highly intelligent, that have worked within many different administrations and have done great things, and they don't see this. They don't see this. Of course, they weren't special forces. Right? They didn't work directly for the CIA. Maybe some of them worked inadvertently with the CIA or knew about the CIA or worked in the intelligence fields and were regular military. There's a whole different ball game, guys, that's played. So I can't say that I'm completely privy to all of the things that happened even when I was in office, when I was in military and CIA. So there are lots of different things that happen. There'll be times where I think I know everything, and then something will come out, and I'm like, dang, that's crazy. Now, as far as there's talk of people that are being arrested and by SEAL Team 6 and Delta and so forth, and being transported to Guantanamo and some of these other sites. I'm pretty sure that's going on. I can't say definitively. I don't talk to those people. but I used to play that game, and I know how these games work, and I see things, just like everybody else, and I can go, oh, this is what's going on there. Now I can talk about it, and you'll never see, or you won't see for a while, any material evidence of that, and you'll say it's false. And then the people that are, have a deep background in this, that are talking this stuff, you'll say they don't know what they're talking about. Well, some of us do, right? Some of us do. And some of us can look at this stuff, and sometimes some of us have contacts. And we just kind of like, reveal what we can. Now, as we move forward, we're going to start to see some of this. Now, you know how Osama bin Laden, when SEAL Team 6 basically blew half his brains out, and then they're like, oh, yeah, we dumped his body at sea. So some of these guys may try to escape, and, they may have to be dumped at sea. So I don't know. Some of that may be going on. Wouldn't you like to know about that? You probably never will. But they're not going to let on about that. And that's the way it's going to be, going forward. All right. So let's look at this just a little bit more. Oh, not that. America's wealthy are quietly buying their way out with golden visas. No. That's not what we wanted. Let's see if we can get back to where we were.
Candidacy and his first term in office. Now, to be clear, there are no charges filed at this point. This is very early in the process. Now, what we're seeing today is taking evidence that the Justice Department believes it has to a grand jury to secure an eventual indictment. Now, we don't know where the grand jury will meet or who would testify. Grand juries determine if there is enough evidence to indict. They may find out there's not. Grand juries in the United States are secretive, and it's normal not to know all the answers at this stage. Again, though, the Justice Department declines comment on any investigation, but Jillian, certainly a story we will continue.
So yeah, the grand juries are secretive, just like SEAL Team 6 and Delta. So they're secretive, and they're basically deciding, how this is going to work out. They're going to look at the evidence, and it's probably not going to be so good for Obama and his pals. But we'll see. Who knows? Who knows who's on that judicial, who's going to be doing that? Are they going to be like, like mostly Democrats, mostly or conservative, mostly liberal, or half and half? Who knows? Now in Texas, so Greg Abbott said, Governor Greg Abbott told the Supreme Court of Texas, all right, I want you to look at this head guy, woo, and look at the evidence here and see if what I say is correct, that he should be fired. Oh, well, there's like, they're all Republican judges, all 9 of them. Not looking good for woo. And so that's kind of what they're trying to do with Supreme Court. Now, the Supreme Court has really been giving President Trump, a lot of wins. I think out of 16 different cases, and the ones that they didn't, give him like a win are very suspect. Right? So the two out of 16 they didn't give him. So they're still working on those. So we're seeing all of the lower courts that are trying to, without any, like within hours, stopping his decisions. I think they're going to get to the point where like the lower courts don't have any jurisdiction here, and stop being assholes. And if you're gonna be an asshole, we're gonna rip your judgeship away. That's what I like to see. Right? Well, if it's going to happen that way, I don't know, because we're seeing some crazy stuff happening now. Maybe, baby. So I think we need to, just pay attention to things that are going on. Now the economy, stock market edged back up today. NASDAQ was up pretty good because Apple said it was going to spend $100 billion in America because it's going to be less costly for them to build their manufacturing facilities here instead of having them elsewhere in the world where they're going to be tariffed. So 100 billion. So Apple was up today, Tesla was up today, and these are, I think, dead cat bounces. So it's not gonna last much longer. Now, will it go down all at once? Have we hit the high? I think we've hit the high. Now it could go a little bit higher, because that's what happens usually. It's a huge fake out in these, and sometimes. Now this is Cambone, Daniela Cambone show. She's got some great people on, and so we're going to see pretty much all the way back to 1929, the dot-com bust, and all these different bloodbaths that are market bloodbath ahead, as new tariffs said. So and is Trump doing that on purpose? Yes, I believe so. Trump is doing these tariffs to destroy this sod economy. So this is Gareth Soloway, and he does excellent technical stuff. Now watch what he comes up with.
Logarithmic view. And remember, logarithmic puts it in perspective of percentages versus dollars, so it allows us to go back in history quite a bit more. And if we take a look here, we can go to the 1929 highs. We take the high just before the Great Depression. We connected through this high of the dot-com bubble in 2000, and look at what this trend line tells us. We basically are right into that trend line, right there. Again, we just adjust it slightly here. But essentially, we're at the high end of the band that marked the major collapse of the Great Depression and the dot-com collapse. And that to me is a warning sign, saying that the valuations were now 2 standard deviations above the norm. You have to be here because we could be on the precipice of a major, let's say 30, 40, 50% decline in the stock market like we saw in the dot-com collapse.
All right, let's move on to the dollar now. We know this administration wants a lower dollar. Are they going to get?
Now, another thing that I've seen where there are people that do the economy that are pretty savvy. I don't know if some of these people are like they take the negative road on Trump because there's people that are negative, the Trump derangement syndrome type, so they're trying to appeal to them or something. But that basically the woman that was in charge of the not GDP but the jobs. So the jobs count. So some people are saying that Trump is like firing her because he's not getting the numbers that he wanted. Come on, guys. So she basically for 3 months in a row has said that the jobs numbers were very high. And that put the Federal Reserve on pause. So I think she was working for the deep state, because we know that the Federal Reserve is the deep state, right? So she's probably being paid, manipulated, and it was maybe always part of the deep state. I don't know. But she was basically inflating those numbers. So the Fed, the deep state, was on pause because we needed those rates to go down. When those rates go down, the dollar goes down, like they were just getting ready to talk about. So Trump wants the dollar to go down because it'll actually stimulate things in the right direction that he wants. And some people argue that that's not the case, and some argue that it is. I say that it is. All right, it's a positive, especially because silver will rocket. So I wanted to go up. It's been manipulated and suppressed for so long. The day it was up, it went over $38. It's up over $38 now. So it only has like $1.40 or something like that before it hits the multi-year high. And it has, I don't know, very, very short period of time before it goes beyond its all-time high. Now, if you look at the like dollar cost of its all-time high and you put in the inflation rate, we should be looking at like $85, $100 in silver. And the same thing with gold. Gold should be a lot higher too when you put in the inflation numbers. So if you take more off the dollar, then you're going to have silver and gold go up more. And you're going to have the stock market. Normally, it goes up when the dollar goes down. But that 10-year, the 10-year, is it going to like that? I don't think so. So the 10-year is probably going to go up higher rate. We'll see. I don't know. But the 10-year, the American 10-year and the Japanese 10-year, those are the ones you really want to watch. The Japanese 10-year is pretty much close to its all-time high, where the last time it did that, we saw stock market crash, and then Japanese yen trade thing. And then they turned it around. Somebody went in there and bought it, and it just turned around. That's the way they do these things. So I don't think it's going to be very long before the Fed comes in and cuts rates. They may do an emergency cut in rates now because they got found out that they were lying about the numbers for the jobs. So those job numbers were absolutely horrific. Now, a lot of people want to go, look, that's Trump's fault. No. That is, of course, the prior presidents always like to blame, or the current presidents like to blame the prior presidents. Now we know that the Biden administration was manipulating everything, and he was by far the worst president, even worse than Jimmy Carter, who was the worst president before him, Jimmy Carter's also a Democrat. And he destroyed the economy. All right. Inflation went to the moon. Inflation went to the moon again. And then they started cutting rates and the stock market crashed. So we may get a bounce on the stock market. We may see it bump its head on that long-term trend line like Garrett Soloway was showing on the Danielle Gambone show. And then it's going to turn down because that's what usually happens. When the Fed cuts, that's when, because everybody's going to go, oh, the economy's bad. The economy has been bad for a very long time. Housing prices are starting to crater, and they're going to crater a lot more because the inventory is through the roof. We've already seen an absolute destruction in commercial real estate. So just like several years ago, when I was in this magnificent condo, billionaire's condo in Miami, and they were telling me that it's the high-end real estate is getting slaughtered, and that was many years ago. And I was like, okay, well, that's going to work its way down because it always does. And sure enough, it is working its way down now. It takes time. These things take time because there's a lot of manipulation. We had BlackRock and a lot of other investors come in and buy homes up and then, flip them at higher prices. They probably bought them themselves again at higher prices. And that artificially kept prices high throughout the United States and probably the world as well. Because they have massive amount. They're the number one company in the world, They have tremendous amounts of money. They can do whatever they want, and they do. But that's one of the things they were doing. They were keeping the prices of homes inflated while the interest rates are super high. So the average person, now I think it used to be, you go back decades and decades and decades, the average, homeowner first time homeowners like 25, 29, whatever it was. All right. Now it's up around in the 50s or something crazy. That's crazy. First time homeowners, the average price is like in the 50s. Wow. Right. So, very, very few people can afford to have a home these days. So we need to see it crash, right? And when it crashes, it'll be more affordable, right? But you got to have a job, and it looks like a lot of people don't have jobs. So we've been saying for years that the job numbers were going down, but they were inflating them, artificially inflating them. And then, of course, the government was the biggest hirer in the country, government. And Doge came in and basically stopped that out, big balls, and Elon. So they're unwinding it from a lot of different angles, and they're getting ready to take over one of their city states, DC. And if they don't have control of that anymore, that means the other two probably not do so well, because this one is the military arm, and if the other two don't have something to protect them, bye-bye. Bye-bye, City of London and Vatican, you Luciferian compounds, along with DC. Luciferian stuff everywhere, right? So some of that stuff will probably, I don't know, maybe they'll take it down, right? The Horus's penis or whatever that is, the Washington Monument. So maybe Osiris's penis, yeah, because ISIS couldn't find it. So when his brother Satan, basically cut him into a lot of pieces, she could never find the penis. So that's why they have all these obelisks everywhere. It's to represent the penis, right? It's like a FU to all of us. Yeah, dildo. That's right, Silver. So it's like FU world, and we're gonna be like, no. It's time for you to bend over, and we're gonna like collapse that thing into yo, a ho. Right? So we got to make fun of this stuff, right? Because they don't like that. They don't like it when we joke them, because they're all serious. They like to joke us, and the way they have fun. Oh, look, we took your kids and we, yeah. Or we charge you astronomical amounts in taxation, and that's what we laugh about. And so, yeah, really, we got something we're gonna laugh about you, having a nice little time in Gitmo and do a little dance at the end of a rope, right? So that's the way we have fun. So, and you know that because that's what's happened for many times in the past. And I guess you guys didn't learn, did you? This time you're going to learn, and we're going to keep learning you until you're all gone. You're all learned out, right? So that's the way it is. History repeats itself for those that don't learn from the past, and the deep state has not learned. We're going to have like Mussolini. They tracked him down. He tried to run away from Italy. They tracked him down with his little girlfriend or whatever, and both of them got the piano wire, right? Hanging in the city square. I don't want to see that. I don't want children to see that. But that's the way it happened in the past. Yeah, we need to put them on the Gitmo bus. Let's go. Toot toot toot, Gitmo bus. I don't know. I just made it up. So, yeah, Duce, nasty way to go, Duce. And and of course, that's what happens to people like him. Same thing happened in France. Firing squads for their leaders that were part of the Nazi group. Of course, supposedly Hitler, he did not, but supposedly he was shot and burned in the bunker in Nuremberg. So I don't know. So we know that didn't happen. He went on, of course, you know, his progeny, his children, had children, and those children became leaders like Angela Merkel, the Kuru girl. Remember her like shaking? You get Kuru, do you? Been eating some children brain? So that's what happens to these people. That's what they do. They laugh and they party and they eat children and drink their blood, and you're like, Mike, there's no evidence of that. Okay. All right. So you know, some of this stuff is going to be very exciting for those people that are completely unknowledgeable about that, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to be very, very, very exciting. Middle breakdowns everywhere. Yeah, and adrenochrome equals Kuru. Yep. Absolutely. Trimester. There you go. Right? Many of us know. They know. And they laugh us. They laugh us about it. That's not good. There's, you know, hundreds of thousands of children that came in here from around the world, across our border, and they're gone. So it's not good. So yes, lots of dangling from ropes. Newsome high. Right. All right, guys. Now here we are. We're like, you know, it's kind of interesting. I saw somebody talk about this. They said internet, you know, hangings, or, you know, judicial, internet judicial, social media judicial stuff going on. But this is how it works. There's conversations, and people like take up those conversations, and they spread, and people agree with those conversations, and then it becomes a reality, right? And it starts here, it spreads, and then the realities start to pop, right? So send it love. I want lots of love for those realities to pop. All right, guys, stay in the love vibration. We'll see you guys next time.